Switching over to part 2, this ended up being too long and I had to do 2 parts to this, but the second half I'm about to switch gears and go more into how the women dress. I don't really talk about how people dress outside of Orthodox Judaism because the other, like, conservative Jews, Reform Jews, and secular Jews, they don't really have a specific style of dress. They just dress however they dress. But there's trends and rules. I mean, socially enforced rules, basically. I mean, similar to if you went into a Fire and Brimstone Baptist church in a pair of pants on a Sunday morning, somebody is, I mean, as a woman, somebody is going to pull you aside and tell you that you only wear skirts and dresses to those kinds of churches, which people have told me that this has happened to them. So, similar to that, if you wore a pair of pants in an Orthodox Jewish community, as a woman, they would probably say something to you. Somebody would, like, grab you by the arm and be like, you can't do that. So, I actually did it once because it was cold outside and I didn't think people would care because people wore pants outside of synagogue at that synagogue. It was a pretty modern synagogue. And I think 3 or 4 different women pulled me aside by the arm and they were like, you can't do that. You know that, right? So I never did that again. But yeah. Another thing that makes them, like, very, very modern. In most Orthodox communities, her wedding dress would not be considered acceptable because it shows too much skin. This is a typical Orthodox woman's wedding dress. And actually, when you get into, like, Hasidim, they wear even longer sleeves. So they would have a dress like this, but with longer sleeves. And there's shops and stuff that cater to the Orthodox Jewish market for this stuff. So this is getting into, like, this is actually a swim dress, and that's actually me. Oh! This is not me. I found this on Google. These are just these are regular women, but this is typically women who are modern Orthodox, unless they're, like, really modern or yeshivish. This is how they would typically dress. Just going about their business, like going to college. Some schools don't allow denim, but I think as long as you're not Hasidic, I think a lot of times you can wear it, or, like, you can wear it on Friday and stuff. I don't know. I didn't go to an Orthodox school, but I've seen girls walking out of Orthodox schools wearing denim. So I know that at least some of the schools do permit it. This is, like, the double shirt is pretty typical. And that's actually me again, too. This is, the skirts are generally past the knees for the women. And, you may have heard that married women wear wigs. It's true. You may have also heard that women shave their head under their wigs. That's mostly only Hasidic women. But I've heard of Orthodox women doing it just because it's easier. Not like Orthodox women who do it, non-Hasidic, because Hasidim are actually Orthodox, but, well, apparently Neturei Karta aren't, because it says that they don't keep Shabbos, but I don't know, that's the first time I've ever heard of that. I know very little about them, except for the fact that they're Neturei Karta, or NKs, they're a major thorn in our side. Anyway, so this right here is a wig, and I can generally spot them. First off, the wigs all seem to have the same hairstyle, but one of the other clues is a part, but you can't see their hair actually go into their scalp. Haha, I'm telling you all our secrets. And you see again, this woman is also wearing I call it the Jewish double shirt. The undershirt, we call it a shell. So, and then getting into the politics of it, you have Hasidim, the very, very far ones are more likely to vote Democrat. But then as you get over some of the Hasidim, their communities vote Republican. Yeshivish, depending on, like, basically if you look at the graphic, how much blue there is, like Reform Jews are the ones who are like the activists, who they use the Jewish religion to recruit Jews. Like, they have events that are supposed to be like Holocaust Memorial or anti-Semitism events, and you go to them and it's basically a recruitment for left-wing politics. And the Reform Jews are the ones who do that. The ADL is not Orthodox. A lot of Jews I know, like Ben Shapiro would be like, he's modern Orthodox. Most of the people I know are either modern or yeshivish. He can't stand ADL. Everyone I know that actually knows about. One of the other things is Orthodox Jews tend not to be very politically active at all. But the ones who follow politics can't stand the ADL. And, I mean, you have, like, also, based on where people are located, Jews in Staten Island are more likely to vote Republican. Brooklyn, also fairly, voting Republican is fairly common. Queens gets into, like, almost half and half. The Bronx and Manhattan, even people who are Orthodox, which would tend to vote more Republican, if you get into like the Bronx and Manhattan, you get back into a lot of Democrats. So where Jared Kushner would fit in, I would call him Manhattan, even though they live in DC now, but I would still call him Manhattan because he's going to derive his Jewish culture from the Manhattan super modern Orthodox Jewish culture, which is like half and half or leaning Democrat. So even though they are, working under the Republican White House, that's where their culture is going to come from. And also he's a money Jew. And money Jews, even when they're Orthodox, money Jews tend to be Democrats. So, money Jews is what I call them. That's another reason why, because Manhattan Jews have much more money than the outer boroughs Jews. So, Manhattan Jews are more likely to be money Jews, and money Jews tend to be Democrats, like all the other people with money. It's such a misnomer that they always say, oh no, the rich people are the Republicans, and maybe that was true at one point, but that's definitely not true now. I mean, if you look at all these super, super rich people behind the Democratic Party. So I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I will see you all next time.